Hey everybody, it's Chad Eversole at United Country NRV, coming to you from the food plot here in Floyd County. It's February the 27th. This video is not just for hunters who want to food plot or who do food plot. It's for you landowners that might not hunt but want to attract more wildlife to your property. I'm going to tell you about a proven method called frost seeding. And this is the best time of the year to frost seed while it's still cold and the ground is still freezing, thawing, and cracking. What I'm going to do today is broadcast clover into this food plot. It's about 7/10 of an acre, and I have about 12 pounds of clover seed, which is a little bit more than I need, but when I'm frost seeding, I know that not every seed's going to germinate. So I overdo it just a little bit. Here, I'll show you what broadcaster I'm using and what seed I'm going to use this year. So here's the seed and the spreader I'm going to use this morning. The clover seed is the OG, and it's made by Magnet Outdoors. The reason I'm going to use this clover, it's all perennial clovers. Research says that perennial clovers germinate better when frost seeding, and this is all perennial clover. And I've seen it throughout the years also when I frost seed annual clovers and perennial clovers together. The annual clovers will come up some, but not like the perennial clovers. So I'm going to give this OG a try this year. I am a big fan of Whitetail Institute. It does well, but it does have some annual clovers in it. If you want to save some money, you can go to your local co-op and buy generic seed, white clover or Ladina clover, and it's also a perennial clover. But this is what I'm using today. This is my solo broadcaster spreader. It's big enough that I can put fertilizer in or seed. I've had it 5 or 6 years, and it's a great spreader. But you don't need anything expensive to frost seed. You can go to Lowe's and buy a $15 or $20 hand seeder, and it'll do just fine for this. Here's the area that I'm going to frost seed. This section's about 5/10 of an acre, and I got another little spot that's like 2/10 of an acre. This section here inside the post, some of you might have seen videos last year, but this is where I had the brassicas, and I came in and threw some winter rye in here late, and you can see the winter rye still here, and that's going to be the first thing that comes up in the deer hit this spring when all the does that are pregnant need some nutrition for their fawns. But by the time the fawns get here, the clover is going to be thriving, and they will be in here all year. This little plot does not look like much, but I know that food plots really bring the deer in. And last year, I've got a video, there were 18 deer in this little food plot. Now, I did have brassicas thriving in this spot when they were here, but if you want to attract more wildlife, it is proven. I want to show you why frost seeding clover works so well. As you can see, it is a tiny little seed. That's why frost seeding stuff like brassicas and corn and things like that just doesn't work, because the seed is so big. But you can see it's tiny. Well, I'm going to get to work. But like I said, if you want to attract more wildlife to your property, frost seeding is a proven method. And there's all kinds of research out there. And I've also saw it over the years. It really works. And it's the easiest way to establish a clover food plot if you don't have heavy equipment and you have very little time. The only thing is you got to get to it early. You can't wait till late spring when the weeds and everything else is already coming up. You want some bare ground so the seed can make contact. I love to talk food plots and talk about strategies and what's worked for me. If you have questions about planning a food plot or getting one started, feel free to reach out to me. I love to talk about it. My number's 540-808-7804. Y'all have a good day.